welcome once again. Thanks for choosing to be here at 8 p.m. India time, and good evening from wherever you're logging in. Just to give a brief introduction about us, we are Regal Unlimited, one of the ICF approved coach training institutes. I'm sure most of you here are here to understand more about ICF certification. What we also do otherwise is we are into professional coaching. We coach leaders and other professionals and business owners through executive coaching, leadership coaching, life coaching, wellness coaching. And we have a pool of coaches who work with our clients, both individuals and corporates and teams. We also offer one-to-one and systemic team coaching. We are also ICF approved for sure. We offer ACC and PCC level certifications. We also mentor for MCC. And also, those of the coaches who are looking for mentoring, for credentialing or renewals, we offer those programs. We also run, for professional coaches, retreats, coaching retreats, very unique in this part of the world, where we go offsite for 3 days and we kind of dwell deeper into the mastery in coaching. And actually the next event is coming up in December. These are for experienced coaches. Apart from that, we also run programs which is very popular, that is leader as coach. There's more to inculcate coaching into the leadership. At middle to senior level leaders, we've done this for a cross section of leaders across the globe, from a IT firm in South America to entities like Ford and others in India. Last but not the least, we also bring together an element of counseling and healing into everything that we work. We have professional counselors and healers as part of our team. So to summarize, we offer coaching, professional coaching, coach training and certifications, and all related services that I mentioned, and also counseling and healing. That's the core of what we do. We are a 10-year-old company, or 10-year young company, and we have touched hundreds of lives over the last 10 years. We are blessed to touch lives over the last 10 years. I'm hoping that everyone who wanted to join are here, so I jump in.
Everyone needs a coach. It doesn't matter whether you're a basketball player, a tennis player, a gymnast, or a bridge player. My bridge coach, Sharon Osberg, says there are more pictures of the back of her head than anyone else's in the world. Sorry, Sharon. Here you go. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve.
Leaders have received so many different kinds of advice, I don't know where to start. One that comes to mind is to have a coach. Our board member in 2002, John Doerr, said, "You need a coach." And I said, "Well, I don't need a coach. I'm an established CEO. Why would I need a coach? Is something wrong?" He said, No, you need a coach. Everybody needs a coach. So Bill Campbell became my coach and has served Google very well. Every famous athlete, every famous performer has somebody who's a coach. Somebody who can watch what they're doing and say, "Is that what you really meant? Did you really do that?" They can give them perspective. The one thing people are never good at is seeing themselves as others see them. A coach really, really helps.
I'm sure some of you might have seen this video before, but I'm sure this sets a context for this webinar. Or we don't call it a webinar, we call it more like a fireside chat or anything synonymous. Now, why everyone needs a coach? As Bill Gates says, we all need feedback. Good, empowering, frank feedback so that we can grow. And, as leaders, as you grow up the ladder, you need it more. Now, today, Microsoft is one of the companies that is considered as a beautiful example of organization which have that the growth mindset, which Satya Nadella has popularized so much, and also has a lot of coaching internally. Eric Schmidt needs no introduction. He's been one of those coaches who have been blessed to have a super coach or a $1 trillion coach, as Bill Campbell is known as. Everyone needs a coach. Every leader for sure needs a coach. Now, if you have heard the Nike CEO, he's the fourth time CEO. He's been a CEO in 3 other organizations. For the fourth time, he's CEO of Nike. He says, I'm not a leader, I am a coach. So that is what the leadership is evolving into. Now, whether you are an internal leader, some of you, I can see our corporate executives on this call, on this fireside chat, you need coaching. You need professional coaching. You need classical and pure coaching if you intend to stay in the organizational role. Whether you're an HR leader, you're a business leader, chasing numbers, or chasing transformational initiatives as HR leader, or even systems leaders, CTOs, finance leaders, you all need to incorporate coaching. The future of leadership is coaching. I have no doubt about it. Yeah, I know, by the way, I'm assuming most of you know me or I've looked up. I come in with 21 years of corporate experience, 10th year into my coaching experience. I worked with a cross section of leaders from across the globe, and I know what I'm speaking. The future of leadership is coaching, and Nike, and one of my favorite brands, if the Nike CEO says, I am a coach, less a leader, that's a shift in leadership. So if you're an internal executive, you need this coaching skills as much as a professional coach who wants to earn bread and butter and jam from coaching. Everyone needs a coach. So we look up, I'm going to run few slides quickly. I'll go a bit fast. And then I want to really take questions, listen to your comments, any challenges, alternate point of view is most welcome. What is not coaching? Coaching is not mentoring. Mentoring is when somebody at a higher level gives, whether you're an expert in the corporate, you're an HR leader, guiding or mentoring and telling a young executive, or I can see somebody who runs business here, somebody who's mentoring an entry level or even middle level or a senior level. So it comes from a higher level of consciousness. It's not consulting. Typical what global consulting brands do. They come in with a lot of expertise, worldview of the problems and solutions. They look at what is relevant to you, and then they can give you solutions. It is not training. Training again is an expert. It's not teaching. Again, an expert. No, there's a curriculum. It is all kind of download. Metaphorically. It's not therapy or counseling or healing either. For example, in some of this therapeutic methodology, you're allowed to go back, fix the issue in the past, bring forward the lesson, and then take the client to a more resourceful state. It is not therapy counseling, but there are a lot of best practices from some of these methodologies that coaching has embraced in a very empowering way, in a very productive way. Then what is coaching? Yeah, coaching is, it's a journey. It's a journey of transformation. Now, people speak about transactional coaching versus transformational coaching. Transactional coaching is an oxymoron, according to me. There is nothing like transactional coaching. Either you choose to get transformational shift, or you're not on coaching. You're on to something else. So, it's like the client is ready for a for a headache, a paracetamol, or for a fever, or just want a band-aid, and the doctor wants to give a surgery or do deeper healing. No, that is not coaching. The outcome, the path, and the pace of the journey is decided by the client, whether it is one-to-one or systemic team coaching. The client decides. The client is in control. The coach is partnering with the client. It is conversation between two equal partners. It's not adult and child conversation that we speak of in transaction analysis. It's two equal adults, from a consciousness state. It is also not, a child seeking information as a coach. It is not just client centricity. It is partnering. Yeah, there is a difference in the construct and instruct method. There is no instruction at all. If there is any element of instructive approach to coaching, it is not coaching. Then what is coaching? This is the ICF definition of coaching. Some of the key words that I would want you to consider is it's partnering with the client. Yeah, it's a process. It is a binary process, but it doesn't stop there. It allows you to go into the realm of creative and thought-provoking process. Now, so we speak about doing a coaching when you start the journey with us. but then you move into the realm of art beyond the science, but on this strong foundation of the science or the process. And what does it do? It inspires the client based on the awareness and the actions that the client comes up. So it inspires the client. There is awareness, there is action. What is the outcome? The outcome is maximize personal and professional potential. I work with corporate CXOs. Generally, they're either prepared for the next role, or some of them want to change career, change industry. There are a lot of career goals that they want to achieve when they hire a coach like me at a CXO level. Though the client's objective is something as transactional as the next promotion, for example, the coaching doesn't stop there. Even the very first session or even before the session, we ask the client, what does career mean to you? What are the other elements of your life apart from career? Then from a larger perspective, we fix the career goal. And we set the client onto a path so that the client not only achieves that, which is more a pit stop, but the client achieves something much bigger. So the performance that the client typically reaches out the coaching for is more a pit stop, is more a milestone. So it's not a destination, it's a journey coaching. It's all linked to the potential. And that's what makes it very incredible. And as you can see, it is personal and professional potential. And personally is deliberately placed by ICF ahead of professional potential. Because coaching does not split the person into two halves, what you are at work and what you're at home. It looks at you as a complete human being. Yeah. One of the things that we look at in the day one of a session or the first module of a session is what are the assumptions of coaching. One of them is that the client is complete. When the client is complete, the client has all the answers for all the questions, all the answers for the opportunities that the client is grappling with. Now coming to ICF Credential, that which is the primary objective of this fireside chat. Why should one opt for an ICF certification credential? Multiple reasons. One is, one of them is you need the framework. I can see some of you here, we have interacted. You all are experts in your own area of work. That doesn't guarantee that you are a coach. In the first module, I guarantee you'll be clear that whatever coaching I thought I was doing was not coaching. First module. Then when you practice, when you start practicing the second and third module, you will know that I was so far away from coaching. So there is a solid process. There is a framework that ICF gives us. You are also, part of an ICF community. It's the largest community of professional coaches, which is just touched for 50,000. There's this very, very clear focus on ethics of the process. When you're part of the ICF fraternity, when you're an ICF credential coach, you also sign up to the ICF Code of Ethics. ICF stated objective is to promote the science, the practice, and the profession of coaching. And they back it with solid research framework. And they keep evolving in terms of best practices. It's just a 27-year-old company or an organization, not-for-profit organization. It's evolving. It's very young. It's millennial. It's Generation Z. It's a global brand. I can guarantee you it is the gold standard in coaching and coach training and coaching credentials. There is nothing as comparable to that. Yeah. Why ICF Credential? This is an internal research that we had done. And, we looked at what advantage accrues to you if you're ICF Credential and if you've done some other credential. A lot of coaching, which is not classical pure coaching. This speaks for itself. Your earning potential goes up substantially when you're an ICF Credential. Yeah. This is a price range. If you're a non-ICF, it's here. Whereas if it's an ICF, it's here. The average rates that is charged for coaching engagement. More important, the NPS score of satisfaction, 91% in the case of ICF Credential coach. Globally, coaching is a referral business. You coach somebody well, the client gets a transformation shift, he or she will tell somebody else. Some of my 8-9-year-old clients, old clients, they still refer me. Somebody walks in, somebody calls me up. finds me on our website and reached me out saying that so and so referred me, I'm looking for a coach. So NPS score becomes very critical. Yeah. So there is a very clear, I mean, this is just one slide from a massive study that Regal Unlimited took up. And there are a lot of great revelation why ICF is superior to anything else. Yeah. Again, why ICF credential? Why should opt for an ICF certification and credential? You need to be an ICF credential to give maximum service to the client. Also to tap into your potential as a coach. You also have 3 levels of coaching: ACC, PCC, and MCC. So, you evolve. I always compare it with an undergraduate program, a master's program, and a PhD. Yeah. Personally, I went directly to PCC in 2012-13. Then I completed my MCC in 2019. So it was a 5-year journey to become an MCC. I took my time because the mastery is more within than it is external. Now, there are 2 types of certification. This is also undergoing some change now by end of this year. They are talking about level 1, level 2, and level 3. Yeah, I'm just running through so that I have more time for questions. Yeah, we're doing well on time, 17 minutes. Now, this is a very critical slide of this thing, and I think I'm almost on the last few slides. What does it take to become an ACC coach? You need 60 hours of training. That's what ICF mandate is. Out of the 60 hours, 50% to 80% is synchronous. That's the jargon ICF uses. Yeah, that is 30 hours to 48 hours, anywhere between that. ICF gives us the freedom that you decide how much you want to stick to. It used to be 48 hours pre-COVID. Then ICF experimented with 30 hours, that is 50%. But then they have stayed with it in all their wisdom. But we have stayed with 80%, 48 hours. Because you need 48 hours of training. You're going to touch lives. I don't think 30 hours would be enough. When I say we think of it. Both the trainers, the mentors, and the support team. So we have stayed with 48 hours of training. The balance 12 hours is your self-study, assignments, and other things. 10 hours is also part of this curriculum. The 10 hours mentoring is internal. We don't allow you to do it elsewhere. It's part of the program. Some institutes don't offer, but we do offer. So, mentoring, this is over and above the 60 hours of training. This minimum 10 hours, you get much more. Mentoring, we continue even after you complete your ACC. Next is 100 hours of practice. 100 hours of practice is perhaps the most important element of this. Again, I can see some of you here who come with 15, 20 years experience. You're experts in your field. You already have some level of coaching within you. But this process sharpens the 60 hours of training and 10 hours of mentoring. Then when you practice those 100 hours, trust me, you will walk out as a good coach. This is something like the 10,000 hours that Malcolm Gladwell speaks of in Outliers. Yeah, 100 hours of quantity and quality will take you to closer to coaching from a state of being or mastery. Assignments includes 2 coaching conversation recordings for us. And then there are a few assignments. Also, 1 recording goes to ICF. Then there are a few trade secrets. There are some internal assignments, all to make you a good coach. Yeah, to make the transition from not knowing about coaching, that is unconscious incompetence about coaching, to unconscious competence in coaching, which we phrase internally as coaching from a state of being. Once you complete 1, 2, 3, 4, you apply to ICF. And if you clear the application and the recording, then you go through a SCK, Coaching Knowledge Assessment Test. These are the 5 steps. We handhold you right throughout the journey. And even after, frankly, yeah, we still collaborate. So to that extent, what makes us different, unique is our focus on practice. That is number 3. All the trainers and mentors of this program, including me, we are professionally first coaches. We earn our bread and butter from professional coaching. We are successful coaches by God's grace. And naturally, there are a lot of coaching stories that we bring into a case study. And the third thing, the most important thing, which I'm personally very passionate of, is the kind of community that we have developed across. We spoke about almost 40,000 plus coaches globally are ICF Credential. 300 of them are from Regal. We have touched 300 coaches. And instantly, almost 40 of them are from Bangalore. And some of us are meeting tomorrow in Bangalore, only for the alumni only event. We are meeting for a quick high tea because there's a weekend training for PCC. So we take efforts to nurture this community with a stated objective that we are here to continue our learning and collaborating for business. We work closely to generate leads and business engagements for all of us. Yeah, so why choose Regal? Perhaps the last slide. It's an exclusive Regal community, the alumni community, nothing like it in this part of the world for sure. And we take a lot of pride and a lot of effort in nurturing this community, including the coaches themselves. It's not just done by us at Regal. A lot of customized mentoring solutions. Just for example, we have recently launched a coaching mastermind for professional coaches who are practicing. Every fortnight we are connecting to discuss how do we nurture the business of coaching. And there's a lot of sharing, a lot of exchange of notes that make us good coaches, successful coaches. We all are aligned with the ICF framework. ICF is a gold standard. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. So we're very committed to the ICF framework and handholding throughout the journey and beyond. And what does it result in? Delivering ROI of enchantment through the ICF way. ROI of enchantment is our punchline. Yeah, what is the Regal impact? 8th year into coach training, 10th year into collaboration of coaching and other activities. We have created over 300 coaches, some of them still on the credentialing journey. 1,000+ industry leaders have been touched through various programs and workshops. 50+ leading organizations across the globe, including some Fortune 100 companies. That's the impact that we have done. So, I always say we have been blessed to touch lives, individuals and teams and corporations and systems in a very transformational way, delivering ROI of enchantment. We are all on our social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are more active on LinkedIn. You can find us there. I would invite you to follow and see, what we are up to on a regular basis. Yeah, that's all for now. Any questions? Happy to take. Yeah, I have the first question. Coaching is a very unregulated industry. How easy is it to create a brand in the clutter? Yeah, very good question. My favorite topic. So, we were discussing this yesterday, and it was very nostalgic for me to talk about 4 P's of marketing. Any good product or service depends on a good product, right? Any marketing initiative. You can sell or market a good product. To that extent, the starting point is you have to be a good coach. And when you go through a program, when you do this diligently, the rigor is inbuilt. That's why it is spread over 4 months journey. And there's a lot of continuous mentoring. You will be a good coach. That's the starting point. The first P, the product or the service. Once you do that, then you start touching lives one by one, client by client. Naturally, there'll be a lot of transformation shift in our clients. Just stay with the process. Yeah, you will touch lives. I can guarantee you that. As long as you're committed to the process. And over a period of few months, you'll start seeing, the customers referring somebody. There's a strong need for coaching in the market. So the starting point is just start being a good coach. Then back it up with, whether it is networking, whether it is creating a presence on social media, creating a website. There's some of the things that we discuss as part of the curriculum. Again, trade secret, but you can have a huge impact if you learn to coach well. Now, there's a golden triangle that I always refer to in our programs. The base, the base of the triangle is where you are a good coach. This journey guarantees that you are a good coach. The other angle is where you are, you're branding, the marketing of coaching, the business side of coaching. You can't be a good coach and ignore the business side. You won't be successful. And I always say that you can't be selfish by not selling coaching. You have to sell, but sell selflessly. You can't chase money through coaching. It has to be a byproduct. But you can't ignore the business side of coaching, the entrepreneurial side. But the third, the most important thing is surrendering to the process. The process is much bigger than you and the client. That's what makes it a complete process. When you do these three things, there is no way that the client will experience transformation. And once you do that, you automatically create a brand. And it has a cascading effect. It takes time. You can't become an overnight success. There is no shortcut in coaching. That's why the engagements are also slightly longish. Yeah. Does it answer to some extent or any other follow-up? Yeah, the 4 P's of marketing is applicable here also. Another question is, how can leaders with so much corporate experience keep it all aside and stick to the process of coaching? Experience versus process. Yeah, very good question. Now, if you want to become a coach, you should be willing to keep all that knowledge, wisdom, and experience aside and become a student again. You have to learn the process of coaching if you want to pick up this. There is no escape from that. That is number one. Number two, one thing that people misunderstand is, what about my 20 years of experience, my expertise, my wisdom, my life journey, my gray hair, everything. Like we flaunt gray hair. What about that? Now, what I'm saying is, you have to park the conscious knowledge aside. The conscious knowledge comes from your cognitive space, which is ego-driven. You are anyway going to tap into the unconscious knowledge. That is what I said, coaching from a state of being, building that unconscious competence. So it is about making that choice, surrendering to the process, open to the possibility of learning, unlearning, relearning, and again, experiencing the power of it. Somewhere all this comes together. So when I talk about initial days, when we train you, it will interfere with your listening, with your presence, with your questioning. These are all ICF competencies. That's something that all of us have gone through. But it starts with making a choice. Keep building that muscle as we build muscle in a gym. Keep doing other things that are relevant to build that presence and other skills. Again, it's all part of the curriculum. When we mentor you, we tell you what will help you. Naturally, you will pick up that skill. It's not easy. Let me be very clear. People say that, I'm willing to be a student. It is one thing to think that I'll become a student, open to learning, unlearning. But when you actually experience it, it's not easy. That's how the mind works. But it is not impossible. We all have gone through it. Most of the coaches here are, with 13 to 15, 20 years experience, corporate experience before we come in. With a lot of success there, also some failures. But this is a second journey for most of us, including some of you I can see here. But, it will work. But, you can't enter this journey without that humility. Your success as a coach also depends on your commitment to learn and grow. It's a lifelong commitment to learn and grow. And as long as you maintain that space, that awareness, that humility, you'll only get better. That's also another beauty of this space. As you grow in this space, you get better. Wrong example, they say, metaphorically, it's like wine. It gets better as it grows old, right? You also get better. I hope any follow-up question, please feel free to put in the chat. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the questions here. Has coaching culture truly arrived in India? Unlike Western corporate world, we are still, I have overseas clients. Half of my clients are overseas coaches. You'll be shocked to hear that I don't think coaching culture has truly arrived even in the West. Even some of those markets where diversity, inclusion, and all are more than buzzwords, no, they're still lagging. Somebody wants to, somebody told me, a client told me recently that I want to move from Scandinavian country to the US. Now, the client has lived in both the places. She says, the Boston, where she wants to move on work, is more empowering at different levels. So it has not arrived in the West as much, but yeah, India is still way behind. we still thrive in command and control. And a lot of our command may not be direct. It's also a lot subtle. A lot of things that we do at home. No? Some of our commands and command and control are at home. It's a very old school. I don't think that will work with the millennial generation or the younger generation. No, I don't think that will work. So I don't think you have no choice but to move into coaching. But we are still way behind. I hope Dewey, right? That's how you pronounce. How does young professional navigate the way through a career shift to professional coaching? Very good question. Now, it starts with the left, that triangle, train to become a coach, get trained, get certified, get experience, get a credential. Don't be in a hurry. You have the advantage of age on your side. So take your time. Every member in my team, all are in that age group, all are less than 30. So you have a huge advantage of learning and chiseling and evolving over a period of time. It also is a good idea to choose your niche early on. I love that you evolve. Don't mind to change that niche also. So as you gain some practice, you will get better. And if you're part of the right community, if you're part of the right training institute like us, Regal, you will evolve. You will evolve at double speed. And you will settle into your sweet spot as a coach. And frankly, most of our learner coaches these days who sign up for our programs are experienced professionals, corporate leaders who are very happy at work, want to add coaching to their work and life. They're not looking at becoming a professional coach next month or next year. And I always encourage that you can touch more lives within the corporate or in your business role than becoming even an independent coach like me. So I love that. Another example to back up, millennials are more open to coaching than gray hair like me. So that's a segment that is kind of really growing fast. I shared with our community today, there's a Mint article. I would invite you to look up the way, that's how you pronounce. How luxury watches sales have kind of 50% growth pre-COVID levels. There's an article in today's Mint. So the clientele is some 25 to 35 years old. So, that's also a good time for you to get into coaching. I think 28% is the import duty, 18% is the GST. And most of them pay, they pay officially, right? They don't pay cash, they buy making the payment, online payment or others, right? Credit card payment. So, there is a shift in consumer behavior. Similarly, if they're spending, and the average price, I think, is 2 to 6 lakhs of the watch, naturally they'll invest in themselves. That's a community I'm speaking of, millennials, right? Most people would trust people with years of experience, and definitely the credibility is more. Now, credibility, I can't disagree on that, right? I can't agree more. Credibility is the most important factor in service because you're going to touch lives. But, you don't need to be too experienced in this. Because as you start practicing, you will evolve, you'll start touching lives. And, there are some young coaches in our community. There are some elderly people, we have the latest ACC from a community, is a retired teacher who became a student, such a wonderful student. And, she just started practicing as a coach. And if you look up our LinkedIn page, I've shared her thing on the, the update there. So age does not matter so much, experience matters. Yeah. Any follow-up question? Happy to answer. Is becoming a coach truly a professional decision? How important is to factor personal constraints? Yeah. You can't avoid the personal constraint. No, for me, this is a provocative fire chat. So let me go one step further with your permission, whoever asked that question. Coaching is not for everyone. Coaching is for someone who is ready to be coached. Yeah. And somebody who's consciously or subconsciously ready for the transformational shift. It sabki bas ki baat nahi hai, if I can put it in Hindi. You can't handle transformation. This American author, I never get her name. She says, transformation is not easy. Ask the butterfly. This is as painful as that. No, not physically painful. It's a very demanding journey. Yeah, and every client that I am working with currently is experiencing that. I can guarantee you. So to that extent, it is not just a professional decision. Similarly, if hiring a coach is such a difficult thing, becoming a coach is much bigger. There are a smaller percentage of people who are cut out for becoming a coach. And some of us here who are still evaluating, we may not be cut out for becoming a coach. But it's a skill that can be learned. It is something that can be evolved. But when your heart says that I want to become a coach, trust your heart and go for it. Now, I spoke to somebody who is joining us in the next session, somebody with over 20 years of experience working with a global MNC. He said, I've done small certifications, but I wish he has 21 years of experience. I wish I had started this journey much earlier. I said, earlier the better, no doubt, in anything in life, but better late than never. Don't worry that you're starting now, because you're truly ready for it. And that's also for everyone. So you have to be ready at all levels of existence: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and maybe to some extent social. And only then I think you'll get the benefit of this journey. Yeah, but some of them jump in. We also evaluate. One of the things that I didn't mention earlier is we are very selective about who comprises of the cohort. We don't allow anyone to come in and be part of it. It's a very exclusive space. It's a very sacred space for all of us, and even for the participants. And we kind of highlight this factor. For example, somebody reached out some months back through a reference, reached out to me on my mobile. We quickly got into conversation. It came through a reference, and he said, I have 30 years of experience. I'm very successful. He was very successful. I know what is coaching. Maybe, yes, though not necessarily. He said, I just want certification. I want the stamp of ICF. So I said, then we are not the coach training institute for you. If you're looking only for certification, then there are a lot of others who will give you. This is a journey. Because if you're not experiencing the transformation shift as part of this journey, how the hell will you experience, appreciate the shift that the client is going to experience, and you are going to partner in that client? It's not easy, right? So it's very important that you need to be ready at all levels, including professional, personal, and more. For me, even spiritual. For me, the decision to become a coach was more spiritual than everything else. Yeah, I hope I answered that. Now, personal constraints. Those of you here who would have heard me before, for me, coaching, when I experienced that, I knew this is my calling. And I think I was very fortunate. After that 10 years, has it been easy? No. It has been very tough. I have worked hardest over the last 10 years. I've always been hardworking. Yeah, I've been very hardworking. A couple of my colleagues are on this call. They'll acknowledge that. But you're touching lives. Every time you coach a client or you mentor a coach, that's what we do at Regal, or even heal somebody, you're touching lives. And that is a blessing. So it has to be calling. Yeah. If you have any doubt, am I cut out for a coach, reach out to us. We'll help you to identify that. Yeah. So don't worry on that. What is the one thing that an aspiring coach should be careful while selecting a program? Where can an aspiring coach falter? Yeah. I mean, I'm the call that I had this evening at around 7 o'clock, somebody who's joining the next batch, he spoke about bundling of products. See, ICF framework is complete in every sense. Every bundling is a marketing gimmick. Yeah. For example, we give you coaching plus NLP bundling. We give you coaching plus executive coaching certification, life coaching certification. No, you don't need that. ICF gives you a framework. You choose your niche, macro and micro niche, life coaching, wellness coaching, any other coaching. You will figure a way out. And if you choose the right institute like us, which also handhold you about your business side, you will be able to handle that bit also. So you don't need any additional certificate. You don't need the crutches of anything else. So bundling or the marketing gimmicks, stay away from that. Another thing, don't be cheap on this journey. There's a blog that I have posted, I think a year ago. Don't be cheap on this journey. This is a very sacred space. It doesn't come cheap, right? And our program is also expensive. We not only give you 48 hours of training, 10 hours of mentoring, support you in 100 hours of practice, help you in your assignments, help you prepare for your CK, also the assignment that goes to ICF as a recording. There's a lot of work that goes in. And when you break that into your hourly rate, it's peanuts that you pay. So don't be cheap on this. We are very price conscious society, but appreciate the value that you're going to get. And if you're going to touch lives, do you want to compromise on anything? So make sure of that. Compare apple to apple. Don't compare apple to orange. And ICF, go for ICF programs. Go for established ICF training. Don't go for any other synonyms and acronyms. Or even, they have ICF jumbled and they have course training institutes, local institutes. No. Today I've had clients, Spanish citizens, North American citizens, somebody from New Zealand. This is a global canvas that you get when you're an ICF thing, right? Another thing that you falter in selecting is, you choose destination over the journey. Again, going back to my golden triangle, this journey is about 3 elements. One is the destination, which is your certification, your credential. It's also about your community that you're part of. There's this famous line, the student asked the guru, what is more important, the destination or the journey? The guru says, it's destination, journey, and the community. That's why satsang that we have, no? You have to be part of a community. There's a lot of collective energy in a satsang when you do a spiritual satsang. So it's very important. Don't compromise on the community. And as I said before, wearing my sales hat, there's nothing comparable as in a community. I'm also looking at how does someone realize he or she needs a coach? How big is it? Is the universe of people seeking coaching? Everyone needs a coach, Rajesh, right? Everyone. I have a coach. I mean, I have multiple coaches, some of the members of my community. I go reach out to my mentors. Even this Tuesday, I and my son went for a healing workshop day long. So I'm also certified healer. That's more my personal journey, spiritual journey. So both of us went for a workshop. He was going for a repeat. I was going for the first time. So everyone needs a coach. When does one realize? No, unfortunately, you go to a doctor when you can't handle the symptom, right? I had some toothache, gray hair. I kept suffering, right? So then finally at some stage, there's a lot of travel coming up. So I said, I didn't want any pain, sweatiness pain. I went to the dentist. So I wait for that pain. And frankly, how the mind works, I'll be very candid here. I thought I had some problem and I was prepared for, either a root canal or pulling away a tooth. Doctor said, no, he just needs some treatment. He gave me a mouthwash, come back after a week or so, because I went during Dasara, I didn't want to get a treatment, and you'll be fine. No medication. So why I'm saying that is, you don't wait for a crisis to hire a coach. But unfortunately, most of the clients that I get, at least personally, me and some of my clients, because I work with 300 of these coaches and some of our friends. By the way, you can see I'm wearing an ICF Bangalore chapter, a proud member of ICF Bangalore. And I know I'm also using a notebook of ICF Bangalore chapter. Very proud of the community. We had a meetup recently. So this book was from there. And this is from a 2019 event. Why I'm saying that is, you can't sell coaching, Rajesh. Let me also be candid. You can't sell this like a toothpaste and a toothbrush. The client needs to understand that I need coaching. Right? And when the client, that is when the client is ready. So, you can always coach a client who's ready. So I've done this mistake. There's something I'd share in my post mentoring programs that initially I was kind of creating the awareness and all that stuff. I have let go that the need to educate the market. I look for only clients, whether it's individuals or organizations, who are ready for coaching. Otherwise, I don't waste time. And that's what I tell my coaches, also mentees. Yeah. Divya, thanks for that. Rajesh, I hope I answered your question. Any follow-up question you can ask. I forgot my glasses at home. That's why I'm kind of struggling to read. Bear with that. How does someone realize he or she needs coach? Yeah, I think thanks for copying and pasting it here. Microsoft, Google are tech companies. Is coaching culture restricted to technology? Very good point. And roles. Now, one of the things that I regret personally is that coming from banking and financial services, I don't think that sector has truly embraced coaching. I think they still survive on promotions, all the goodies and fast growth and other things till they hit the glass ceiling. At some stage, they know that I can't go beyond this. So technology has been smart enough to embrace coaching for sure. And not only technology, even I've seen that in a lot of those cutting edge areas like pharma. Some of my I've worked with clients who work with pharma. So they do consulting for pharma. So pharma kind of companies also. And MNCs, global brands, even in India and overseas, not specifically overseas, but automobile companies and others have also embraced. So yes, technology and similar industries have been, and I'm just thinking, is it only technology? But tech companies has been at the forefront. If you look at TCS, for example, they have it. But if you look at Accenture and PwC, they have companies like Ford has. Google, of course, thanks to people like Bill Campbell, they have coaching culture. Yeah, coaching is integral to the culture at Google. Yeah, it's primarily technology that has been at the forefront, but there have been a lot of other industries and companies and leaders. When somebody moves from a technology to another industry, they naturally bring in coaching also. Yeah, but technology is at the forefront for sure. How big is the market for non-tech companies? I have worked with homemaker who can afford us. I have worked with entrepreneurs, not early stage entrepreneurs, because early stage entrepreneurs are laser focused on the success of the product, but these are funded entrepreneurs, or who don't need funds, bootstrapped. But I had a client who had 2 exits. One of them to Microsoft, sold to Microsoft. Now he was creating the third entity, and he said, for some reason, he said, I don't want to sell, I don't want to exit, I want to create an institution. Naturally, he was struggling to create an institution as a CEO. Founder, it is easy, but CEO is different. It's a different ballgame. So naturally, he hired a coach. So all sorts of client. So to that extent, don't restrict. The canvas is truly global, and don't restrict to your local market. You have to look at this as a global canvas. God's grace. That's why I said, I've been surprised when people reach out to me overseas. There is something they discover some reference, and then out of the blue, and it's very easy to work with overseas clients. They're very professional, and they also pay the premium, right? Yeah. Any other questions? Should I be waiting for my company to sponsor ICF training? Is it just to fund my professional growth personally? No, never do that mistake. Coaching is about maximizing personal and professional potential. Your life is your responsibility. Yeah, if company supports you, boss supports you, or you have someone externally supporting you, good. You're very lucky, take it. But don't wait for it. If you do it, trust me, you will regret it later. Because time is precious. Every day is a missed opportunity. So please don't wait. Our team has done a short video. Karan, if you can share it on the chat. They have actually asked this question. This is one of the myths of coaching. Why should I invest so much money on coaching and my personal development? I am working hard. I am delivering. I'm doing a fabulous job at work. it's also a responsibility to step back and ask, what is my purpose in life? Why am I here? And am I operating at my full potential? Am I operating at a potential which is at the confluence of personal and potential and professional? Can I do better? Is success coming at a cost? I grow in my corporate ladder, but I ignore my health or wealth or family. Is it worth it? So take responsibility of your career, but don't make it selfish. If you make it purely selfish, I, me, mine, that also doesn't work. Trust me. Leadership is about being selfless. Coaching is about more selfless. Money will come. You'll be surprised by the abundance that flows into you when you move into that space of selflessness. Yeah. So please don't wait. That is my humble request. It's your personal investment. Do it. And at least 40% of the clients that I work with, they pay the premium that I charge from their pocket, but they are more successful than company sponsored, because they pay through the nose and they're committed to the journey. And I find it truly enriching experience. Right? Should leaders invest in themselves? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that video is shared. Thank you. I hope everyone can see it after the call. Yeah, we're at 8:52. Almost. Thanks, everyone. I can see almost everyone has stayed on. The number has not changed. I keep, the number guy in me, having come from sales background, this is one number I keep tracking. Has anyone dropped off? I can see no one has dropped off. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. It's dinner time for you and me, but we all are in this together. Regal Unlimited into our 10th year. So hashtag 10 years of Regal Unlimited. We are touching lives every day, one by one team at a time through team coaching, and one coach at a time through coach training and certification mentoring. We are truly blessed to be in this space. We live our life purpose. Every one of us in the team, the larger ecosystem, that we are living our purpose directly or indirectly, and that's a true blessing. And when you sign up to become a coach, that's what you're signing up for. Surrender to the process. We will ensure that you're a good coach. We put you on a trajectory to become a great coach, a successful coach. Success including financial parameters. Yeah. I hope I've answered all the question. How much of access do we have to the co-trainers? Very good question. I am one of the co-trainers. I am very busy. But at the same time, this is part of my living my life purpose. So I am definitely accessible. This being recorded, so I'm promising it online. Yeah. So same with other trainers and mentors. They all are meant to be just on a call away. Just a call away. So people, one of my mentee coaches who is a PCC successful coach, we missed calls 4-5 times today. We have still not been able to speak. But after this call, as I go home, head home, I'm still going to call her and check, why you're trying to reach me. That is what all of us do. Just not me personally or the trainers, even others in our community. We all are on WhatsApp, and we are available. Is the program pre-recorded? No. The program is delivered live. Very good question. No, we don't give you a thing, because if coaching is very personalized journey, coach training is more personalized. How can we kind of put it into one size fits all? No. The ICF curriculum is approved, but ICF also gives us the freedom to customize it on the go, right? And every program is mentored by two of us. Typically, the co-mentor, co-facilitator with me who's somebody who keeps a check on the process, because I go all over. I thrive in that freedom. But there's somebody, we have an agenda, we have a curriculum, we tell them in advance, but we are very clear that it's an evolving process. We co-create. So when I said the heterogeneity of the cohort is very critical, that is because it's an adult learning. The cohort, the peer learning is as much as learning from us and mentors, right? Even from otherwise. So the core trainers are accessible. The program is not pre-recorded, but the program is recorded. And we share it on a platform that is accessible to the learners for you to go back and listen. And you still have questions, you can come back to us. Many do claim that complete hand-holding. Yeah, I agree. I also know horror stories about hand-holding, quote unquote. But somebody you should verify. You should always verify. One of the things that you can do is cross-check with our alumni how much we handhold. We don't spoon feed. Let me be very frank. We treat you like adults, not like kids. So if you expect us to be a spoon feeding kind of a relationship, no. We treat you like coaches and adults, right? So naturally, but there is a lot of support system. Good question. We don't spoon feed, and I'm also in a very provocative mood today. So how do you judge the trainability of the people from your cohort? Every conversation that all of us have, anyone from our team, the facilitators, including me or the other team, we are constantly looking for the fitment. And those are some of your HR leaders here. You'll understand this. Also, business leaders, right? We're always looking for fitment. So we don't go. There is no psychometric assessment yet. We're still looking at creating something. It's something that we kind of look at, and it's very easy. We all are trained to do that because we are coaches anyway. So it's more about a qualitative assessment of the trainers. And if somebody, like I told somebody with a 30 years experience that if you're looking for coaching, he was not ready. So he was looking for certification. He was ready to sign up. He had 30 years of wealth of experience. He was not ready to become a coach. So, so naturally, that's why I said no. And I'm sure if he had gone with that mindset and started somewhere, he'll face challenges for sure. Right? So it's something that happens in a very qualitative way, in a very holistic way. There is no judgment there because coaching is about being very non-judgmental. Yeah. So I know I'm not giving you a very clear-cut answer for that, but yeah, we are very particular about the composition. Now, disclosure, this is not something that I discovered. Both the community of coaches that we have and also the heterogeneity is something that I learned from my executive education program at INSEAD, the global leader in executive education. That is something that they do well. We are very proud of the alumni community, just as what they do about the heterogeneity. Now, I went to the campus after 21 years of experience before I made this pivot to coaching. And I'm sure it was the heterogeneity that helped me to get in, among other factors. Otherwise, the cohort was younger. Yeah. So similarly, we take pains to ensure that this we have managed the no also well, very respectfully. Yeah, we're almost at the top of the hour. I don't see any more questions. I'm also happy that there are no questions. I'm hungry for sure. And I hope I've tried to answer all your questions. Any more questions? Feel free. Info@Regal Unlimited. Very easy to remember. info@regalunlimited.com is our email ID. I'm very active on LinkedIn. You won't miss me. You can reach out to me, Subash, SUBASS, Subash CV. You can see the name. Ping me, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, or connect you to with others who would answer it better, if not me. So those of you who are here to exploring the possibility of becoming a coach, we are starting a batch on October 15th. It happens on alternate Saturdays. So we start on second Saturday. So 4th, 2nd, 4th. It's spread over 4 months. In 4 months, you complete this 48 hours of training, 10 hours of mentoring, and some of the assignments. What is usually left is some assignments and also the balance of 100 hours. Typically within 6 to 12 months, you complete the journey. We kind of will be with you to ensure that you complete the journey. It's a fascinating journey to become a coach. It's truly a blessing to touch lives as a professional coach. That's what we do day in and day out. We feel it. We truly feel that we are blessed in this path. So if you're looking to become a coach, there's nothing as comparable as ICF, which is the gold standard. And Regal Unlimited is the gold standard. Because, the most important point, every trainee coach has gone through programs, has come out successful from ICF. None of the recordings have gone through. No one has made a second attempt at ICF. That's our impeccable track record. And it's God's grace, it's the effort of our learner coaches, and all the effort of our team at Regal, and also a facilitator, the most important part of this group, right? So if you're looking at becoming a coach, there's nothing as good as Regal and ICF. Join us. So hope to see you, some of you, on October 15th, Saturday. Till then, bye for now. Thank you for joining. Have a good day or a good evening.